Hello YouTube! So I am going to Book Expo America and BookCon, BEA and BookCon in New York City. Depending on when this video goes live, I might actually currently be there. Before I actually go, I need to be honest with you guys, I did acquire some new books. I was really trying not to because I know that's sort of a side effect of BEA is that you come home with a lot of books, and I'm really pumped about this and it's gonna be great, but I already have a lot of books that I haven't read, and so I was really trying hard not to get any new books. Failed miserably at that. But also I've been doing a little bit of soul searching and thinking about the whole idea of like book guilt and having too many books to read, and I've decided that as long as I can keep the shelf space available for new books by getting rid of some other books and reading books, as long as I can afford it, as long as it doesn't put a hindrance on my financial happiness, it's really not that big of a deal if you have a lot of books that you haven't read. Like, if you really think about it, it's not actually that big of a deal because it just means that you have a library, and I kind of like being the library for my group of friends. A lot of them just come and will read a book off of my shelf, and I don't really mind having that be sort of what my book collection is, and so I don't actually feel that guilty. So the first book that I picked up was Rat Queens Volume 2. This just came out this month. I didn't actually know that this book was out yet, and so I went to a comic book store recently because it was having their like anniversary store sale, and just kind of stopped by because it was supposed to be a fun event, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy any books here. I'm not. And then I just like looked over and there was Rat Queens Volume 2, and I was just like, sorry self, grabbed it, bought it. I haven't actually read it yet, but I can't wait to read it because I love Rat Queens, and like I said, didn't know this was out. So I recently had the pleasure of getting to see Me and Earl and the Dying Girl in theaters. It's currently playing with SIFF Film Festival, and so I got to go see it there, and I believe it's going to larger distribution and larger amounts of theaters soon. It was a beautiful film. I hadn't actually read the book yet, but it was just like, oh, it was just such a... I just realized that I'm still wearing this sticker that says that I'm a solitaire referee from an event that I was doing at work for the 25th anniversary of Solitaire. So that's embarrassing. So like it said, I hadn't actually read the book. The movie was just gorgeous and so visually moving and emotional and great and so funny, but then so heartbreaking. I just loved it. I loved it so much. I went downstairs and immediately picked this up because there also happened to be a Barnes & Noble in the same building, and so I got the new like movie cover edition because I wanted to buy it because of the movie, and I can't wait to see if the book is as good as the movie was. That's a really weird thing to say, but like, I saw the movie first, sorry. Then I was tricked by Book Outlet. Book Outlet is notoriously bad for making you want to buy books when you said you weren't going to. In fact, I actually got an email in my inbox today from Book Outlet that had the subject, "We bet we can make you break your book buying ban." Thanks a lot, Book Outlet. The first book I bought was Is It Night or Day by Fern Schumer Chapman. This is a book about the Holocaust, but it's supposed to be sort of an interesting angle on the Holocaust, and it's nice and small, which I appreciate, and I just really haven't read a lot of historical fiction. I also picked up Not a Drop to Drink by Mindy McGinnis. This book was talked about a lot on BookTube last year. I always wanted to check it out, and I just kind of forgot about it, and so it was really cheap on Book Outlet, so I picked it up. I don't actually know like when this is set or if it's set in our world, but I know that it has a lot to do with thirst and not having anything to drink. I really don't know anything about this book. I just remember people talking about it and liking it, and so I'll be interested to actually see what it's about, like beyond thirst. Then the last book that I got is a book that lots and lots of people seem to be hauling right now because they all bought it on Book Outlet. I hadn't heard of it before that, but it's called Something Real by Heather Demetrios. It is a book that sounds really fascinating to me, and I think it's something that we'll be seeing a lot more of in the coming years. So the idea behind this book is that this girl, her family, I believe, has a reality TV show, and she was born into this family already having its own reality TV show. Yeah, she's grown up on TV. Her and her 12 siblings are stars of the hit reality show Baker's Dozen. So I think that concept is something that we're gonna be finding out a lot more about as like the daily vloggers of today's children start growing up and having to like talk about and deal with and possibly even move on from the experience of having grown up just having your life broadcast on the internet. And I know that this is more reality TV, but I think it's a similar concept. So anyway, I'm fascinated by this and I'm really looking forward to reading this one. So those were all the books that I purchased over the past month or so since I've last done a haul. I did get a couple more books. I recently started a partnership with Quirk Books. They are really great and they sent me a little stack of books. The first two books that they gave me were Miss Peregrine and Hollow City, which I already have copies of, so I already gave those away to a book-loving friend who will appreciate those, and they're in a good home with her. They also sent me a couple other books that I already have, but were titles that I really enjoyed by them, and so I'm looking forward to finding people to give these to as gifts and send them forth into the world. So that is Princesses Behaving Badly. This book is a lot of fun. It's like actual historical accounts of princesses that were maybe not so well behaved. I've flipped through my copy a little bit and I can't wait to read it more deeply and figure out which of my lucky friends I'm going to be giving this to. They also gave me Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I've talked about this book a lot. This is a creepy horror novel set in a sort of like fake IKEA setting, and the book actually looks like an IKEA catalog, which is really cool. I really enjoyed this book. I really hope that they put out a sequel because it kind of has the ability to do that pretty well, I think. And again, I'm really looking forward to figuring out who to pass this book on to. The last two books from Quirk Books are ones that I actually don't have yet, so I'm very much looking forward to these. The first one is Half-Baked Heroes from Comic Book History, The League of Regrettable Superheroes, which I believe is a book of bad superheroes. This sounds really fun. It's such a great, like, nerdy coffee table book. And so I was really excited that they sent this to me because it looks really cool. And the last thing I'm so pumped about, and this was like the reason that I reached out to Quirk Books in the first place, is that they sent me The Fangirl's Guide to the Galaxy, a handbook for girl geeks by Sam Maggs. I've heard a lot of really great things about this book. I've heard that it's just fun and nerdy, and I'm pretty sure it's feminist, hopefully, and I just can't wait to flip through this and just see how much it rings true to my own personal experience and what other things I can pick up and learn. So this is my book haul. It included 7 books if you don't include the books that I already have copies of. That's it. Oh, there is one other thing I want to show you, and that is my new camera. I have not really done on-the-go vlogging in a while, and that's because I don't really have a good camera for it, because I have a 60D that's like big and bulky, and so it's not really convenient to take with me just like to the park or around or on a trip or whatever. I hate lugging that thing around, and so it's just better to film at home with it. But the camera that I used to use for filming, I wasn't happy with the video and audio quality, so I did some research. I ended up getting the Sony A5100. I actually have not opened it yet, so I'm gonna open it right now for you guys on camera. I got the white one because I thought it looked classy. I'm pumped about this because it has a really nice big lens, so it's gonna be really good, like HD quality shooting. It also has this incredible flip-up screen, so I can vlog this way and actually see what the picture looks like and not have shots like up my nose or whatever. Because you'd think after 8 years of vlogging that I would have learned not to do that, but not the case. So I haven't even used this at all. I haven't played around with it yet, but I'm gonna take it with me to New York and hopefully do some really fun filming there. Maybe I'll do some daily vlogging. Who knows? Let me know in the comments if that's even something that you'd want to see from me. But I'm pretty excited about this, and I will definitely be letting you guys know what I think of this camera, if it's a good choice, etc. So that's it for me for today. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I hauled today down in the comments below, what you thought of them, which ones I should read first, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Goodbye!